Okay, for this video, I'm going to show an example of a script I created, just following this Microsoft Learn example, but um, basically it creates 3 virtual machines, uh, and so I was getting an error, and I'll show why this wasn't working when I tried it on my own in PowerShell instead of using the sandbox. So I tried it in the sandbox and it worked. I was trying to figure out why. Then I looked it up, and somewhere on Stack Overflow had to answer, but I'll get to that when I get to it. But basically, first well, let me just go through the error. So I was just saying the term parameter, it's not recognized. I was thinking like why it should work, because here it says to do that, and that'll be the first line in the script. And that was the error, that it wasn't the first line in the script when I created it. I had it after, importing the module and connecting. So anyway, if you ever get that, make sure it's the first line. Let me actually write it. Anyway, so that's how you can make the script not work by doing that. Took me a little bit to troubleshoot. And anyway, one other thing I just want to show here is that if you actually are going to run it in the Cloud Shell, then change the directory, and this is how to go to the ISE, the integrated editor. And anyway, so we should be done with that. But so basically what I did is I created a script by combining the other virtual machine one of just copying this stuff to connect, so it always works. It doesn't just assume that you're already connected to Azure. And so the first thing it does is it captures the input parameter into a variable resource group, and then it creates another variable, and it has a message of enter username and password, and then you put in the credentials, but that's what get credential does. And then there's a loop of creates this variable of I. It starts at 1, and then it checks if it's less than or equal to. So LT is less than, LE is less than or equal. So less than or equal to 3 starts off at 1. So and then it's going to increase after each iteration. So inside it creates a virtual machine name of conference demo, and then it adds the I to it. So it starts off as 1, so conference demo 1. That's what it'll look like when it's output. So this is output, right host. So it outputs the string and then the variable name together. So anyway, then it actually does the creation of the virtual machine, and it gives it the resource group name of what we input, and then the virtual machine name, and then the credential of what we entered, and then the image of Ubuntu. So that's the first time it loops. Then it gets increased by 1, so now it's 2, so it's VM2. 2 is less than 3, so it's going to run this. It creates a second virtual machine, and then it gets increased 1 more, then 3. 3 is less than or equal to 3, so then it runs. So it creates a third machine, but it's not going to create 4 because 4 is not less than or equal to 3. So anyway, so this is the code. Make sure parameter is the first line, otherwise it won't work. And so I was just showing. So yeah, it didn't work also because I had too high of a quota, but I deleted it when I was practicing. So it's just clear screen. So let's see if we have. So let's first create that resource group, because I don't want to use this one. So call it demo.org. Location East US. Alright, so now it's created, and now let's run that script. So I called it create 3 VMs, this one. And then here's where you put in the resource group name to put into parameter. So first step is authenticates you, then you put in the credentials, and it starts creating them. So I'll come back after one's created, and then I'll show you what it looks like when more are created, the other two. So one's created, it's creating a second one now, conference summit. But you can see here, it's the resource group name, it's one, .org, succeeded, and here it says it's starting to create the second one. And here's the name of the first one. So I'll come back after all 3 are created. So again, it's showing the quota for the size, it's getting filled, but well, let's check. So we're going to check the resources, and the resource type is virtual machines. Let's pipe into table. So it created 2, and it couldn't create the 3 because I guess it can only create 2. But it's kind of funny because if I look at the portal, .org, it's created, but whatever. Anyway, just imagine that it did work. And so last thing you want to do is after you create stuff is like delete it when you're no longer using it. So just do remove, and let's just do the whole resource group. And I want to see what happens if you actually don't put name, because when I created the resource group I forgot to put name and it worked. So it's just kind of smart enough to know it. And if you want it to just not give you the prompt of like, are you sure, you do force. Give it. Yeah, so you don't have to write name, it's smart enough. And anyway, it's going to delete it. So that's about it. Make sure you don't go over your quota. You could go to the link it says to, and you could request it, and if they deny it, then you have to open up a support request. But they denied it for me, probably because I'm the student account. But anyway, I'll come back when it's done, and then we'll be done. And it's done. It says true, and it's gone. So that's it.